Welcome to today's deep dive. If you're looking for, maximum insight without all the fluff, you are definitely in the right place today.
Yeah, absolutely. We are just jumping right in.
Right. So, our mission today, we are exploring this really incredible excerpt from a discussion titled The Horse or the Coal: Surviving the AI Revolution. And it's basically trying to answer that massive elephant in the room. Or, well, I guess the horse in the room.
Yeah, the horse in the room. Basically, will AI steal your job?
Exactly. And to answer that, we're bringing in this foundational framing from the writer Annie Lowrey. When you're facing this whole AI revolution, she says every worker has to ask themselves one simple thing. Am I coal or am I a horse?
Which is just, it's a really stark way to frame your entire career.
It really is. Okay, let's unpack this, because to understand that stark choice, we actually need to look backwards first at the technological shift in agriculture.
Right, going back to the farming days.
Yeah. Like, get this statistic. In 1915, there were about 26 million working horses on American farms. But today, there are barely 700,000.
Wow. And, the mechanism behind that massive drop is really crucial here, because when the tractor was invented, it wasn't designed to, make the horse more efficient.
Right, it wasn't like a cool new tool for the horse to use.
Exactly. It just simply made the horse completely unemployed. That is the brutal difference between, augmentation and just flat-out replacement.
So if we translate that to the modern labor market for you listening, if your economic utility is just, pulling the plow, you are in trouble.
Oh, big trouble.
Right, like, we know ChatGPT and LLMs can churn out boilerplate code or just generic marketing copy. So if your daily job is strictly generating those raw outputs, ChatGPT is the new tractor. And, well, you are the horse.
Yeah, and the horse just gets permanently put out to pasture.
Exactly. So if that's the case, how do we pivot? How do you actually become the coal instead?
Well, what's fascinating here is how coal survived its own obsolescence. Decades ago, coal's primary job was just directly heating homes, right?
Yeah, people just shoveling it into basement furnaces.
Right, and when cleaner, better domestic heating methods came along, coal really could have just disappeared entirely. But instead, it shifted up the supply chain. It stopped doing its original job of heating the house and adapted to power the electrical grid itself.
Okay, wait, I have to push back on that metaphor just a bit, because coal is a rock. It didn't actively adapt, it just got burned by a different machine. Humans aren't passive resources like that.
No, that is a perfect distinction to make. Coal was passively repurposed. But we, cognitive workers, we have to actively repurpose ourselves.
So what does this all mean? How do we actually do that?
It means you have to look at the new machine and realize your value is just no longer in producing that final, raw output. Humans must stop doing raw, basic tasks and instead transition into managing the AI itself.
Oh, I see. So you stop trying to write the basic code and you start designing the architectures that the AI uses to write the code.
If we connect this to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
learning to prompt and manage AI is how you transform from that obsolete plow puller into the indispensable power behind the grid.
You become the infrastructure.
Exactly.
That is such a powerful takeaway. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. Hopefully this framing gives you a brand new way to position yourself as the grid rather than the horse.
Before we wrap up, though, there's one more layer to this to really think about.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
We know we need to manage the AI to survive today, right? We have to be the coal feeding the prompts into the grid. But what happens to us when the AI actually learns to write its own prompts and manage itself?
Man, will the coal eventually be put out to pasture right next to the horse?
Exactly.
Well, that is definitely a provocative thought to leave you with next time you sit down at your keyboard. See you next time.